YouTube channel, Do Me and Lovely Things. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to do a review of episode 3 of season 4 of Uthando Nesthembu. So just a brief recap of what happened in the previous episode. Sne and Musa had a conversation regarding Sne having conflict with macele. Musa and Tobile had a conversation about the upcoming wedding, and Mangwabe and Musa had a conversation about the upcoming wedding and the child that she doesn't want. Basically, that's what happened. Before we start, I just need to give a shout out to a few people. Shout out to Sejeng Noche, Siabi Salomi, and Nolwazi Mabizela. Thank you so much for your comments, guys. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, leave your comments down in the comment section below. I love to hear from you. Alright, so the whole purpose of these reviews is to kind of give a commentary on the issues that are occurring in Uthando Nesthembu that can affect any one of us at any given time. So it's not like a recap, like action by action by action by action, and then she smiled and then she frowned, and then it's not like that. It's just my commentary of the issues that really resonated with me during the episode, and a conversation starter really, so that we can talk about these issues. That's why I'm not really reviewing every single show. I'm reviewing this one because I think that it touches on a lot of issues that are important to us as African women, African men, and I'm just hoping that this will be kind of a conversation starter for us. That being said, let's get on with it. The first thing that happens is, okay, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when that beautiful intro with the nice song that starts, Abongwe is wearing a dress, a red dress, and she looks so uncomfortable, guys, and so like someone forced her to wear that dress. And I just think that there's a lot that's going on with Abongwe, from her parents' side, as well as just on a personal discovery level on her own side. And speaking about that, there's one of the first scenes that happens in this episode is Musa is having a conversation about Abongwe's umhlonyana, I think that's what it's called. That, remember last week we were talking about that they're gonna shola her and stuff like that. The sweet 16, which Abongwe actually even asks for some alcohol for her sweet 16. So Musa is talking about Abongwe's sweet 16 and umhlonyane, and he actually makes a comment that I found really disturbing, where he says that the umhlonyana ceremony is gonna help Abongwe realize who she is. Like, what you mean? Like, what you talking about? Because the backdrop of that, they were talking about how Abongwe is a tomboy, which I think all of us can see, that she's really not a very girly girl. She actually kind of looks like a guy, and her mannerisms are very guyish. So for him to say that, to realize who she is, like, for me it feels like they want to use this as a weapon to make her behave like a girl, and this reminds me of, I don't want to say it like the way that it's coming in my mind, because I'm not trying to imply that they're trying to hurt her in any way, but I just feel like it's something that's corrective. They're trying to correct something with Abongwe, and her being the way she is, for me, doesn't necessarily need correction. If she's that way, then she's that way. What needs to be corrected? You know what I'm saying? So I don't really understand what he means when he says that she will remember who she is. What does that mean? Like, that made me really confused. So that happens, and then in the next scene, Musa has another conversation with Sne, where Sne is basically telling Musa that she now has another child, and the conversation they're having with Musa is, please excuse the noise in the background, my neighbors and birds. Anyway, so Musa and Sne are having a conversation about Sne having another child by the same guy, and Musa's asking Sne what I think is a really relevant question, like, do you expect me to support you and your kids? Like, it goes back to what we were saying last week, that if you are grown enough to lay down and have sex and not use contraceptives and you not use a condom, then you're grown enough to take care of your own kids. It can't be your parents' responsibility. I don't think that Sne is unable to care for her kids. I just think that she's entitled, to be quite honest, and she feels, I don't know how she feels, but to me it's just coming across like she knows her dad has money and he's capable of taking care of her and her kids, so she's just kind of relaxing and just expecting him to pick up for her, which is really unfair. You know, there's a line and a distinction that grandparents need to have. A grandparent is not a parent to the child, and I think we've incorporated it in our culture such that it's like grandparents more and more are taking on the role and responsibility of being parents to kids, and that's not the way that it should be. It's really unfair. If you have a child, it's your responsibility to take care of that child to the best of your ability, unless you're studying or working, but you need to be doing something to be trying to raise your child. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, children don't choose to come into this world. We bring them into this world. So you can't pass off that responsibility to your parents. That's how I feel about Sne. I'm rushing because there's a juicy part that I want us to discuss. Okay? Anyway, so the next thing that happens is that Makhumalo is speaking with the lady. I'm not sure if the lady is, I can't remember if the lady is a event planner or what, but they're discussing about gifts that they're gonna give to Makhumalo's bridesmaids. All right, sharp. So they call talking, and then Makhumalo decides she wants all of the things that are available. Makhumalo's in high spirits. You know, she's getting married. It's finally her turn. They've been planning this for a while, and they walk out singing and stuff, and it's a nice vibe. Cut to 5 months later. The family's sitting at the dinner table, and they're having dinner, and the topic of the marriages comes up. Macele says there are not going to be any more marriages, whether it's a fifth wife, whether it's a marriage to Tobile, it's not going to happen, because herself and Musa need to have a conversation first. Okay, sharp. So Musa says to her, okay, I get it. You want us to first have a conversation, and because you allowed me to be, you know, polygamous, I can't just ignore what you're saying. I have to accept and appreciate what you're saying and listen and hear you out, basically. And he announces that the wedding is on pause, that it's most likely not going to happen this year, and it may happen next year. Okay, so in the one-on-one interviews that are not, you know, the aside interviews, Makhumalo says that, you know, Macele's comment, she feels, had nothing to do with them, but it was more a conversation that she should have had with Musa, just the two of them. Basically, that's what she's saying. But the thing behind that, to me, is like, I told you, Tobile has this thing, yeah, like, she's subliminal with what she wants to say. Like, she doesn't say, okay, I feel like they're excluding me from my own wedding. I feel like they're making decisions regarding my wedding. You know what I mean? And I feel belittled by that, because you could tell from her body language, what she was saying, that is how she felt. But she's trying to be this pretentious girl, like, it doesn't bother me, it's not a big deal type of vibe, when we know it's a big deal, and it would be a big deal for any woman. But because of the subliminal thing that she does, like, she's like, no, they should have had it privately. Let me tell you what she's really saying. She's saying, this woman and my husband were basically having a conversation that had nothing to do with me. So she's planning one of two things. Either she's going to force, and the wedding is going to take place regardless. Watch what I'm saying. Regardless of what Macele is saying, and she's going to put pressure on her man to do that. Or she's going to have a comeback where she is going to be difficult in some situation or make it awkward for Macele. Right? So that's Tobile's thing. Then Musa. That's how I feel about how Tobile reacted to Macele's comment about the wedding being paused or pushed back. Then Musa's reaction. Okay, so how I felt about Musa's reaction is he was like, you know, because you're my first wife, I kind of have to listen to what you have to say, blah, 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 blah. For me, it just feels like he's just, first of all, it just feels like he's trying to just re-emphasize and reassure macele of her role in this whole marriage, you know, and make her feel comfortable with the fact that she's the first wife, she's the one who is number one basically, and everybody has to kind of listen to the things that she has to say. Also, it seemed like to me that this conversation did take place in private before, ahead of time, between macele and Musa. And this was a decision that they made, that they were going to bring this conversation in front, and in the way that they did. They decided that macele is going to be the one to say, no, we need to pause the wedding, even though it might have been Musa's idea. And the reason it could have been Musa's idea could have been, number one, COVID, you know, Musa's a businessman. A lot of businesses have suffered because of COVID. And maybe the money that he was anticipating that he would have made in the past 5 months, he hasn't made because of COVID. And it's unlikely that he's going to recoup that money in the next 3 months remaining in the year. So that's one possibility. Another possibility could be very well that traditionally, because of COVID again, a lot of people are not going to be able to attend the wedding. So it won't be umcimbi the way that they would have loved for it to be umcimbi. So they would rather postpone it to be, to do it better and bigger next year. Another reason could be like, it could be what it looks like, which is that macele just needs to have a conversation first with Musa, and they need to sort some things out which we don't know, and thereafter the wedding will happen. But I think I'm leaning more towards the first two lessons. There are some logical reasons as to why Tobile's wedding can't take place right now. My only problem is they're probably Musa's issues and not macele's issues, and he let macele be the scapegoat and appear as if she is blocking another wife's wedding because she's jealous or because something for TV, you know, which happens all the time. So remember, I told you, I think that Musa is very much about the TV production. He's very aware of what people will like to see, and what will spark controversy and what will keep us talking about Uthando Nesthembu. So yeah, on macele's side, like I'm saying, I don't really think that she's really that invested, because I bet you she would never have said that to Mayeni. That would have never happened with Mayeni. Macele would have never in life have said we need to. It would not have come from her. It would have had to come from Musa directly and privately, and it would not have made it to the TV show. So I do think that all of these conversations happened privately, and they chose to broadcast whatever they broadcast because they know it would make good TV, and not necessarily because it's the reality of the way kungakhona. Basically, that's just what I think. So I think macele was just taking up for her man. I think her man asked her to say what she said in the way that she said it, for the purposes of entertainment, not necessarily for the purposes of the practicalities and administration of what needs to be done. Yeah, my guys, that's it for my review of episode 3. Episode 3, ne? Yeah, episode 3 of season 4 of Uthando Nesthembu. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and of course leave your comments down below. What did you enjoy about the episode? What did you guys think about all of these issues popping up? What issues are pertinent to you in the show that you think I might have missed out on? Thank you so much for watching, Bomalavo. Until next time, love you, bye.